Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
It's time to get busy. Hi everyone, it's Thirsty Thursday. Come on down. It's time to get into the weeds, talk about the things that inspire us based from desire. It's a big topic, and I really loved putting this together. So who's in the house? Are you ready to go? This is day 4 of our illegal sprint. For those of you who are aware of what's going on, I totally blew it on the dates. But you know what? We're just going to roll with it anyway. How about that? Because I know you guys still want to do it, right? I hope. Anyway, so today is Thirsty Thursday. There's Melissa. Hello, good to see you. It's really great to see you. And there's Patsy coming on in. Love that, Patsy. And a whole bunch of other people. Here you all come. It's good to see you. Thank you so much. And thanks for showing up. You know, it means a lot to me. It means that I'm saying something that maybe you want to listen to. It means a lot. There's Helen. I appreciate it. Thanks, Helen. Here's our quote of the week. There's Joanne and Mary Frances. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your unguarded thoughts. Hello. Is that not the truth? I don't know about you, but I have been on the short end of the stick by my own thoughts, my own putting things together. And I was thinking about that and thinking about my youth and all the mysterious people that I have, these mysterious audiences that I have played to, and just what a complete waste of time that has been. What a waste of time. Well, I'm not going to go back and relive it. I'm also not going to go back and just mourn all of that. But haven't we all made a bunch of dumb mistakes based on dumb things that we believed? We all have. But let's get on with it, shall we? Right? We have, you know, we get a reset every single day when we wake up in the morning. It's so awesome. Hi, Catherine. Good to see you. Anyway, I'm going to share with you from desire to inspire to fire. I just love things that rhyme. I love alliteration. I love all that stuff. I like the fact, though, that you can see things connect together. As we see things connect together, have you noticed how much easier life is and how much more peace you have? It's absolutely incredible. And that's a little bit about what we're going to be talking about, because I think sometimes we make it a little too difficult on ourselves. You remember when you were a kid and you did all those connect the dots, you know, things. Hey, Noreen. Hey, Sarah. Aspire to inspire. Exactly. But you remember that, don't you? You did all those connect the dots things. Were they hard? No, they weren't. And guess what? You learned what they were as you went through the big, you know, the more complicated ones you did. You didn't know what it was until all of a sudden there you were, and you said, yes, that's what I'm doing here. I love those things, and I love being able to connect the dots. My point is that oftentimes we get really crazy about connecting the dots, and it is pretty simple. It really, one thing moves into the other if we allow the process. The process is where everything is at. It's the thing we want to hurry through the most. We're going to talk about that today because I believe that this is a needle mover. This is a needle mover for me, and from my journals and everything, and I just want to share this with you big time. I think this is going to help. Now, one of the things I am going to be talking about is your environment and how important these are. That's why I love the quote decks. You can see it says living life in full bloom on one end, and then all kinds of different quotes. And we put them out. Here's mine. It's sitting out this week. Part of courage is simple consistency by Peggy Noonan. Do you see that? And do you see the cute little wooden stand? This all comes together. You can find out more about our quote decks Limited edition, by the way. We're already creating our new ones because these are flying out the door. Get them now and get 2 because you can gift one and you'll get free shipping. Come on. So these are going to inspire you. There's all kinds of stuff on there. I could, all kinds of favorite quotes from, you got Carlos Castanedas, you got Oprah, got to have a little Oprah in there, Deepak Chopra, you've got Rita Davenport. It costs nothing to dream, but everything if you don't. Just little cosmic 2x4s, boom, 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 because we all need that on a daily basis, don't we? When we get that cosmic 2x4 happening on a daily basis, it brings us back to, okay, so this is what I want to do. It takes away the negativity and it plants a seed of positivity. We all need these, okay? So check them out at savingdinner.com/quote. And don't forget, our supplement of the week is Get Lean CLA. All you have to do is go to savingdinner.com/show to take advantage of this. It is a buy 3, get 1 free. Put 4 in your cart. That's how you get the deal. And we ship it to you free. That's what I am talking about because the clinical research on this stuff is amazing. It goes to the deep fat that we all have around our middles. Plus it takes care of thigh fat. Who knew? Thigh fat. All this stuff. How many times have you cursed your thighs? Well, you know what? They're strong. They get you around. They do things for you. Let the supplement handle the fat part, right? We all have it. This is our mug. Isn't it so cute? It's bright, shiny, and yellow. Hi, Denise. I love this. It says, don't get mad about the results you didn't earn from the work you didn't do, because that, in and of itself, is a cosmic 2x4. It interrupts what we're thinking about. And we all need this kind of this is the interruptions that we do need. So check it out. I'm going to tell you all about the mug, why we use these mindful mugs, and how to get one for free. Go to savingdinner.com/mug. Mug. Yes, is Jenny telling her story? Oh my goodness. Well, Jenny's got big news, and I'm not going to say what it is. But she's talking about it in here, just in case I'm wrong about what she's saying, and I, don't want to burst her bubble or her big news. But congratulate Jenny and her family. This is pretty exciting news. Speaking of exciting, you can see on my personal page, because I posted it to public, we launched Wanda yesterday. Did you see that? Anybody go check out Wanda? Wanda is the name of our boat because we're on Lake Wantesca. And so this is Wanda of Wantesca. Doesn't that sound so Anne of Green Gables? Wanda of Wantesca. With her friend Cordelia, I don't know. But the point is Wantesca is our little lake, and it is little. It's not a great big huge lake. And Wanda is our new pontoon. We just got her. We launched her, and it was quite an ordeal. I was having a little bit of a part of a time. But Wanda is beauty. She is a beauty. She's a big floating party boat. And I cannot wait. I wanted her because I said, if we move here to the lake, we want that for us, number 1. And 2, when we do retreats and we do our full bloom event again, and it's here, we're taking the ladies out on the lake. A fish called Wanda? No, a boat called Wanda this time, Diane. But that was part of it. I just think she's the most beautiful thing ever. She is lovely. We love our Wanda. Anyway, I'm so proud of her, and I didn't even get her on my vision board, and she already came true. How do you like that? I love it. So what else do we have to tell you? You've got the Get Lean CLA. I told you about that. Friday, which is tomorrow, is your question and answer. Macy said she's going to be there. Macy, yay! I can't wait. So listen, you want a question answered? Nothing is off limits. I always say this. I don't know why, but why not? Say it. Cooking, nutrition, hairdos. I'll show you how to do this because I have done that before in the past. I mean, people have asked me what deodorant I use. Seriously. I'll answer it. Ask the question. Send them into support@savingdinner.com, and in that subject line, question for Leanne on Friday, I promise you, I will answer your question tomorrow, but you got to get them in today. Come on. Psst, psst, psst. Let's get it done. Get her done. The collagen challenge is coming. That is coming on Monday. We start that on Monday, or we start the sprint. Because as you know, we are doing an illegal sprint this week because I totally blew it on the timing. You can either double sprint, or you can say, I'm not sprinting this week and do sprint next week, or you're gonna go right into the collagen sprint. It's up to you. You can find out about it though, savingdinner.com/collagen. We always start anything that we do with a webinar. And you know why? I find that when I understand something and why I'm doing it and what I need to look for and it's all about, I'm going to get that much more compliance from myself. And it also makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. It makes me understand exactly what the heck is going on, right? So anyway, savingdinner.com/collagen. If you want to hop on the collagen challenge starting on Monday, or the sprint, whatever you are. And again, my apologies for all of you who are saying, wait a minute, the sprint's next week. You're right. I blew it. So we are sprinting this week anyway, and you know, we'll do our best. We'll do everything. We can do all the things. We are multitasking women. We are amazing, right? The other thing is tonight, this is the What's Next webinar. People always say to me, I'm feeling so good, I'm losing all this weight, blah, 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 blah. I get it. So what's next? What do you want to do next? Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you through 10 things that you need to be aware of, that you need to plug into your peripheral. And I'm also going to show you exactly what to do so that you don't just boomerang back on this weight, because really that's the carousel of crazy. Who wants to live there? I don't. It's time to get off the carousel of crazy. It's time to live our lives in full bloom. This is how we do it. By ditching the stuff that doesn't work anymore and going to the things that do. And you've just shown your body this week, haven't you? Don't you feel better? You've shown your body this week who's boss, who has control over everything. And speaking of that, we have coming up, just gonna let you know, on Monday, we have an food addiction webinar. And I'm doing this from my own perspective and some research that I have pulled together, because as a food addict, you know, one who is always currently in recovery, that's something that we've got to talk about. You know, we don't talk. People always talk about it in these weird terms, like, you know, if you're either hooked and it's like useless, it's like you have a needle in your arm, or yeah, just get over it and just a little bit won't hurt, and this kind of a thing. And I believe what we need to do is find our own way, and I'm going to talk all about that. Should you abstain or should you go forward? We'll talk about it. Deal? That's on Monday. Just watch. We'll give you the announcement. We'll give you the sign up, but that's coming up on Monday. Let's see. Show notes. Do you know we do a newsletter every single day? They come out in the morning, about 6 o'clock in the morning. You're probably just getting up and doing your thing. You will be having a newsletter sitting there in your inbox every morning with today's show notes. So that's fantastic. That's going to help you out. That's going to give you the things that you need in order to really build on what we're doing here. This, you know, I don't come on here just so, hey, fun, let's just hang out. I come on here on purpose, and I prepare, and I set an intention before I sit down and do this whole thing. And my intention for you today is to show you that all these things that we're doing to build habits, they can topple over on top of each other and just become, it seems like a lot, and just become one fluid movement. And that we can get on top of what we want our habits to do. We just have to make a decision that we can. And I've been practicing that with, I think I shared this with you. What I've started doing is stacking my workout and doing 15 minutes at a time. I mean, my app allows me to do that. So I did 15 minutes on the bike and sweated it out. I did 15 minutes of a strength training thing and just not killed myself, you know, but it was a challenge. And then I did 15 minutes of this fabulous stretching. And now I have another 15 minutes left, which is a meditation that I'm saving for the end of the day. And it's a meditation to tune into your body, which I think is so important, because, you know, how do you love your body if you're not even aware of it? right? And how do you love your body up enough so that you can love on a thyroid that's wonky, love on a stomach that's not digesting well? We can love on ourselves, and we can get to the place of actually seeing something happen simply because of the belief that we have in our body's innate ability to heal itself, and also loving it up. It's just my personal thing, okay? It's my personal thing. Anyway, thanks for being here. Now, where should we go? Where should we go from there? Got the collagen, the blah, 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 blah. I did all the things, didn't I? All the things. You ready to get down to business? I sure am. So what I'm looking at a lot in my own life, and what I've seen with coaching that I've been doing with a lot of my clients, and the whole thing is always pivots back to this place of setting habits that work, that are intentional, that aren't a struggle, and that flow. Flow is so important, because when we're in flow, and you know what that is, right? When you're just kind of doing that. I was in a group this morning, and I'm working on the webinar for tonight, because it's all new, by the way. Not all new. It's kind of a it's a tune-up, shall we say? It's been refined. But when we're in that flow, it feels good. We line all the things up. The stars align, as they say. But we feel really good. And we get to the place of no longer just sitting there grunting it out and struggling. We just flow. We just go. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, because I believe from desire to inspire to fire is all about the flow. Yes, there's an awkwardness in always doing something new. I believe that. I've seen that. I figured that out. And you know when I first tried to get onto the bike, and you got to put on the special shoes, and you got to snap in or clip in, as they say, and you're just waiting for the thing to do, and it's wonky. It's weird. It's not new. It's not known. That's what our brains fight us on. But again, if we can just start, and we can just say that soon this will be simple, soon this will be easy, soon I'll be able to do this with no problem, things really start to happen, because we talk to ourselves. We tell ourselves what it is, and that makes such a difference. It makes such a difference on how you feel about everything. Like an amazing difference. What is that? Let's see. You coach people? Yes, I do. So one of my very, very favorite things ever is one of my favorite quotes ever is, "Little hinges swing big doors," because those little hinges can hold the biggest door you've ever seen. But if you've noticed, hinges are very small in compared to the huge doors that they hold. And that's what opens the door. It's without the hinge, the door doesn't open. And for us, and where we are in our lives, desire is that little hinge, because we can't open the door if we don't have any desire to open it, can we? Desire. And yesterday we talked about having that hot desire inside of us, and how a hot desire is way different than wishful thinking. How a hot desire is something that we own. It's something that has come up inside of us, because that hot desire has led us to the place of wanting that amazing relationship with your spouse. That hot desire has created a way for you to see the things that you want to see in your life. That hot desire has planted the seed and watered it, in essence. So hot desire is fabulous. Wishful thinking, worthless. It doesn't do anything but frustrate you. You know, it's like wanting to win the lottery all the time. It's just, that's dumb. Really, why would we want to do that? So if desire is the fire that creates the goals in the first place, then it's habit that puts the goals on the map, right? And we talk about habit all the time. That's how everything happens. But I think what we want to do is we want to talk about the magic of habit creation, and how in the details of all of this stuff, that's how we get to move the needle in our lives. It's so true. And I've got 7 things for you if you're taking notes. Otherwise, it'll be in the show notes tomorrow. But I have 7 things for you that I believe really help you with this habit creation. Because I think that when we decide to form a habit because it's something that we want to do, that it really needs to be intentional, and it needs to be set in a way that we know what it's about, why we want it, and what we're trying to do in our lives. That really makes all the difference in the world. You know, it's sort of like when I sit down here, like I said to you earlier, when I sit down here to talk to you, I have an intention. My intention for you today is to get this stuff. My intention for you today is to take this away and that you go, you know what? This was so helpful because this helped me to create this habit that I've always wanted to have in my life. And because this is my intention when I sit down for it. When you have everything framed with intention, you get to that place. So, but number one though is affirmative, is an affirmation. It is an I am statement. It is living in the present of what it is that you want to be, but you do it in the present tense. It's declarative. I am an athlete is one of the things that I've been telling myself. Today, as I was doing my, I wasn't getting down on the ground and doing the burpees and doing the, all of that stuff. But I was like, fine, I'm fine doing this. And I had my weights and I was doing all the weight stuff. And I said, I'm an athlete. I'm an athlete anyway. I don't have to do it exactly, break my back, just like the 20-year-old is doing. I get to take a pass on that, but I don't quit. I modify. In our perfectionism, we get stuck on, I can't do that, so therefore I'm just not going to do any of it. Forget about it. In the affirmative, I am an athlete. In the affirmative, I am eating for my body and not for entertainment. In the affirmative, we get to declare these things about ourselves in the present tense to bring this stuff in. This sets off your reticular activating system. I've talked about this before with pianists, right? A concert pianist, they did a brain scan on him playing a piece, and they saw how all parts of his brain were lit up, different parts, how it did. They had another concert pianist imagine what it would be like. Imagine, close his eyes, feel the emotion, go through all the things, and guess what? Same parts of his brain were all lit up. You know what that tells us? That tells us that as we live in the affirmative, as we create these affirmative statements, I am a concert pianist playing, even though he's not, your brain doesn't know the difference. Your brain doesn't know the difference between you doing and being. Isn't that fabulous? Therefore, we've got the upper hand. At any point, we can say, I am, and say it on a daily basis. I have it up here on a big sticky note, huge sticky note, 2 things that I'm working on right now. I look at them every single day because I'm setting up my environment. Of course, that's different. No, that's another point. But we've got to start with the declarative I am. That's the starting place. And from there, we move to intention. Intentionally doing something, is a completely different thing, isn't it? You know this. If you're intentional to go out and run somebody down with a car versus unintentionally doing something, there's different charges for that, right? There's different charges for that if you get into a court of law. You want to live in intention. Intention creates a commitment. It creates a connection too. This is why every single day I write on everybody's packing slips. Do you know why I do that? I am intentionally creating a connection with you. I can't see you. Sometimes I can see your face because I know you enough from being, on these groups. But I'm deliberately creating a connection with you because you are a part of my community, and I appreciate it. So therefore, I make a deliberate attempt every single day, a deliberate doing every single day to write on those slips, just to let you know. And I address you by your name. I say thank you. And I give you some hearts and some love, some XOs and all of that, and send you on your way. And then I say a little prayer for you as well. You know why? You're a part of my circle. And you know what? Everyone in my circle deserves that kind of uplift. Everybody in my circle deserves to be loved. I need to give them love. I need to give you love. You need to love me back. This is how we create an amazing connection and an amazing community. And when we set our intention on this, when we set our intention on this kind of a commitment, mentally, we're there. We've got that connection. and we're playing the piano even though we don't have keys in front of us. Yeah? Doesn't that just light you up? I hope so. Because these little steps, this is how we set ourselves up. This is the framework for setting up that new habit. And it works. And then because we're taking ourselves seriously, we've got an affirmation, a present tense affirmation going on, right? The I am statement. We're working with intention to make that connection. And then we're moving into the place of taking it seriously by scheduling it out. Habits can be scheduled, by the way. They can. And lest you say, I don't have time, then I invite you to go to savingdinner.com/time, get a time blocking sheet, and use it to find out where the heck your time is going, because we all have the same hours of the day. We all have the ability to map it out and to change things out. You may have more than me, I might have more than you. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because what's important is to find that little piece of love, that little piece of time that you have, and just say, ooh, I've got 15 minutes, I can do that there. Ooh, I've got 15 minutes over here. I'm gonna let go of this so I can have that instead. There's an exchange that happens, but not until you really get a grip of your time, and you can get a grip of your time by looking at where you spend it, Because if you're going, suddenly you feel like your brain's been sucked out of your head by Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, endless cooking YouTube videos or whatever it is. You got to you got to make an assessment, sister. You got to just say enough is enough. That's not what I want. I want this. This needs a habit to go with it. And this is how we create it. And then the next thing is, of course, accountability. And I can tell you right now, Lizzie's here. Sometimes Jen is here as well. They're body clutter buddies. They're getting it done. They both have goals and they have ideas in their mind, and they're working toward different numbers, doing different things, but they stay accountable. That accountability is everything. The studies, one after the other, all show that those who are accountable are those who get the results. And take it a step further, if you meet and say, okay, we're having an accountability meeting, it's gonna be 3:00 next Friday, and we're gonna be talking about what we're doing, how we're doing, and where we can, what's working well and what's not. You help me, I'll help you. Deal? Deal. You do that, and you are gonna get yourself to the place of 90 percentile of having your goals met. 90 percentile. You know why? Because it's always in front of mind. You know why? Because you're always creating. You haven't just shoved it to the back and said, oh, there's my goals from 2020. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember them anymore. No, it's front and center, and it's always there. That kind of accountability, it's a transactional relationship, yes, but it's transactional in that you have each other's backs and you expect the best from each other. And doing so is bolstering. It bolsters, and you just feel so good after. Thanks, thanks for that. Or talk to your buddy. I can't even tell you how many times I've texted Marla, she's my body color buddy, and said, oh my gosh, Mark's got the chocolate out. She said, get out of the room. It's just like the aliens are visiting. But we all do what we have to do. But the point, though, is having accountability in your community, important. Going a step further, taking it to a body clutter buddy, amazing. Taking it even one more step further and having regular accountability meetings, now your goals are on fire and you can't be stopped. You're going to make them. I promise you're going to make them, unless you show up with a bunch of excuses. But after a while, you'll just cancel out because nobody wants to do that. So you want to get in it, get accountable. That's how it works. Number, 5 it is, environment versus willpower. You know what my thing is on that. Willpower is crap. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that every time you say, oh, if I just had more willpower, willpower doesn't work. If it worked, then nobody would have any problem. Somebody would have figured out a willpower development program, but they haven't. There's no such thing as willpower. You know what works? Setting up an environment to support the life you want to lead. Period. If you want to lead a positive life, you have positivity all around you. If you want to lead a life and have good, healthy food in your life, then you've got good, healthy food in your refrigerator, in your freezer, in your pantry, everywhere. You don't keep the crap around that causes problems. Now, one thing is there are people who are living, well, let's call it a mixed bag situation, where you've got family members who want they want their Oreos or whatever. And Oreos are just a big stumbling thing for you. Then this is what you do. Do you see what these are? These are Post-it notes. And let's say your goal is 15 pounds. You've got 15 pounds. You know what? First quarter of 2021, I'm going to lose 15 pounds. I'm going to stay accountable. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But the Oreos are in the pantry. This is what you do. You put that right there on that package of Oreos, and you tell the family, look, you guys can eat anything you want, whatever, but do not take my sticky notes off of any package that I've got a sticky note on. Because you open up that pantry and what do you see? You see your goal in front of your eyes. Behind that goal, that's where those darned Oreos are. And then you make an assessment. Is it worth it? Most of the time you're going to say no. If it's bad, you can also move it out and figure out another pantry for the family for all that garbage that you don't want to eat, or in the refrigerator, put it in there are things that you can do. Use your imagination. Make a decision, though, that this is something that doesn't work for you, and then figure it out. But I'm going to tell you, this is super powerful, and it'll quickly bring you right back to center. You will not fall off the cliff, okay? Number 6 is energy flows where your attention goes. If you put all of your attention on all the stuff that didn't work instead of, it's fine to put your attention on the stuff that didn't work and figure out how to fix it or what to leave behind and then whatever. But if you're just sitting there going, well, if only I had done this back in 2015 when I lost all that weight, if only I had, and this, that, and the other, and you're living in the past, you're going to give a lot of energy to something that can't do a darn thing for you. We can look at the past to pull out the lesson. We call it the experience file. Put your experience in the experience file, extrapolate the lesson, that's it. Otherwise, this woe is me business is going to hang you up. It's going to keep you from marching forward. It's going to keep you from creating this new habit that can help you out. Because habits are everything. Habit is what determines where you're going with your life. Habit, habit, habit. Lizzie says, pinkies up, she's right. And then the last thing is that simple is the way to do it. It doesn't have to be complex. As a matter of fact, complexity leads to just ditching the whole thing. It's too hard. So keep it simple. And one thing that you can do to keep it simple is to take a habit that's already developed and piggyback on it. This is how I do my 4-minute workouts. I have habits that I already have down. So getting the 4-minute workout, when I'm done with the dishwasher being emptied, because I do that habitually every morning, racing the coffee pot, in order to get that cup of coffee, which I so desperately want at that point, I got to do a 4-minute workout. And it takes no time at all. And the feeling of elation of accomplishing this one little tiny thing first thing in the morning is all worth it. And that's a piggyback. That's an example of a piggyback habit. Use your piggyback habits. One habit on one already very well established habit. Just one. You don't want to piggyback your entire routine, because then you're just going to go crazy and it's not going to get done. That's overdoing it. Just one habit. It makes a huge difference. It changes the trajectory of everything. And it's easy. That light switch goes off simply because now you have made the switch. You've made it go off. It's just like looking in the pantry. You see this 15 and you're like, no thank you to the Oreos. We just need something to trigger it. That's why we use a mindful mug. A mindful mug reminds us to be mindful as we're sitting down to dinner and not just hoover it down and like we're in a food eating contest of some kind. So remember this, that it's never one and done. When we're developing a habit, it's something that we want to do daily or a couple of times a day or whatever it is. It's never one and done. It's repetition, it's consistency, and that's how you create flow. And when we can do that, and we just feel like, okay, so this is how it's going to be, this is how I'm going to get it done, this is what it's going to be about, I'm telling you, you feel like a completely different person. Well, you are a completely different person because you're developing something new. You're developing a new way to live your life that's creating the vibrancy that you want. So you got to break up with the abusive cycle. We all know about that, right? We have this abusive cycle. Well, I can't do it. It's too hard. I'm on the struggle bus. I can't. And when we go into this abusive cycle, that just takes everything that I just talked about and just tosses it. Because you've already told yourself that you can't. And that's simply not true. That's an old cycle. We got to break it. That's breaking a bad habit. Break up with this abusive cycle the same way you would break up with an abusive boyfriend. They've got to go. Because, we think that, okay, well, it's going to be okay this time or whatever. It's like the equivalency of having this bad boyfriend bring you flowers for, being such a horrible person. It doesn't work that way. You go back into the cycle. You might start at the top and say, well, it's a fresh day. I can start over. Well, yeah, but we have to do disruptive things to get ourselves out of these abusive loops that we put ourselves into, these negative loops. And we need to instead step into all those things that I just told you about. So how do you do this? Well, you track your habit every single day. You write it down every single day. It's scheduled out and it's in your planner. Every single day, you celebrate this win. If you want to see an example of this in our Hot Melt Sprint group, go look in the Hot Melt Sprint group. I haven't looked today, but I'm going to bet you dollars to donuts, sorry, shouldn't say that, you are going to see a post from Norma in there. Every single day, Norma checks in. Every single day, she says, doing great. Every single day, she says, gonna go get the walking in. Every single day, she takes a selfie picture. And then she puts a couple of, like a Bible verse or some kind of cute little emoji thingy or like little pictures. But that's her check-in every single day. Monday, Friday, Thursday, Sunday, Saturday, all the days. That's what Norma does. And what's Norma getting? Norma's getting results. Norma's getting results. Yes, Norma inspires. She does. And every time I see it, it's like, that a girl, Norma. I might not say anything all that every day, but I'm looking at Norma, I'm seeing what she's getting, and this is the result of starting a habit. This is what she's done. And she's staying accountable. And she's checking in. And she's gold starring it. And she's doing all the things. You do those things for yourself and you're going to get the same results. This is how human beings are wired. We can get to this place of creating new habits. We just need to make up our minds that this is what we're going to do. And when you acknowledge this, you affirm it. When you acknowledge and affirm it, then you get more of it. Do you see how that whole thing works? Because it is a domino effect. It is motivational. It is momentum, and therefore it's magic. This is what happens when we do this. And you become fully invested in yourself, in your life, watching your goal become. How exciting is that? Not just writing them down, it's a New Year's resolution, but actually living this, actually living it, actually having this as your life. That's the fun part. And it becomes a reality. And it's like saving money when you invest in yourself. It's like if you made a decision and you get paid, let's say you get paid twice a month, right? And you made a decision, out of every paycheck, I'm gonna save $100. I'm not even gonna pretend, it's just immediately gonna go into my bank account, right? My savings account. At the end of the year, you're gonna have $2,400 that you, otherwise, what would you have done with it? Frittered away, whatever, but you've made an intentional agreement with yourself to invest in yourself. And I'm asking you to do the same kind of thing. Invest in yourself every single day. Invest in yourself with good habits. Invest in yourself with taking your supplements, getting enough sleep, getting some movement in, and really taking good care of yourself. Because you get one opportunity. This is your bodysuit, y'all. It houses your soul. We don't get to trade them in like we trade in our cars. We get this one. This is it. So if we take good care of ourselves, if we up-level our lives to the place that we want to go by creating the habits that we want, by being fully invested, we are going to start to get the things that we want back out of our lives from these habits. Because the habits are the things that support the goals. This is how we do everything, you know? This is how we do it. This is how we build the bridge with all the tools that we have. So let's take a really quick recap, shall we? First of all, in order to create a habit, you have to have an affirmation, an I am. You have to have an intention that puts you in a place of commitment. You have to have a schedule, and you have to work your habit, your new habit, whatever it is, into your daily schedule, and it needs to be written down. You need to have an environment to support what it is that you want, whether it's putting sticky notes on food you don't want to be eating, or putting your quote deck out and having little positive things around you all the time. You got to do it. And then your energy flows. Keep your intention in front of you. Keep things around you that help you in flow. Your accountability is everything. Your accountability keeps you in place so that you can't Lone Ranger it and just go trotting off to the left here and just, forgetting all about it. Don't do that. Because when you do it, when you let go of your community, you're breaking the chain. You're breaking the connection. Get back in there. People miss you. And then number 7 is just keep it simple. Your brain loves simple. It's a lot easier to dupe your brain and get your brain to cooperate than it is with complexity. So piggyback your new habit, and remember, everything that I've just talked about, this all just kind of tumbles into each other. It's not complex. It's not difficult. It's simple. And it can be a lot easier once you get things going. Allow momentum to work its magic, because it will. All right? So I hope to see you tonight. Tonight is our big What's Next webinar. You're going to want to be there. That's savingdinner.com/burn, I think, isn't it? What is the webinar thing? I don't even know. I don't have the right thingy. Is that right? Yeah, it is burn. How do you like that? savingdinner.com/burn. Go get your seat. And even if you can't be there tonight, go get it anyway, and we will send you the replay, okay? But you're gonna wanna hang out with us because we have such a great group of gals. So savingdinner.com/burn. I will see you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. And thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate you. Peace be with you. Bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.